Right, I thought I'd make a quick video showing you my PC inside an old Xbox case. Firstly, I decided that I couldn't really be bothered to try and solder the on-off switch to the Xbox's on-off switch, even though that would have probably been the best thing to do. So I just bought a really cheap on-off switch off eBay and used a hot glue gun to just stick it down there, so that turns it on. Yeah, so on the top here, this is some holes drilled for an exhaust fan, and some extra holes drilled along there and the other side to aid ventilation. This is hopefully so the PSU can suck air into it and not get too hot. And this is on this side, that's where the GPU is. I don't know if you can quite see, but the slots here are all open, and that's where the GPU is. It's facing that, and it intakes air through there, and then hopefully it exhausts it out there. But you never know with airflow, do you really, where it's going? On the back there's no I/O shield because I couldn't get it to fit and I got bored, so it'll probably get dusty, although I've had it for a few months and it hasn't got dusty yet. I mean, it's not on all the time. So sort of, yeah, you can see there the HDMI cable, you can't quite see it, but it just fits out the top there, and almost perfectly, which is purely by accident rather than design. I was expecting that I might have to cut along here to give it some space, but I didn't. Open it up quickly to show you the insides. As you see, here's a GPU. It's a 750 Ti by KFA2 or KFA squared, which is Galaxy or Galax in the US. It's the smallest 750 Ti I could find, really. So it's pretty much the most powerful graphics card I could get that would fit in the case. It's fine, it can just take power from the motherboard, which is a bonus because I've only got a 300 watt PSU, which I'll come to in a second. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Apart from it, it's got a tiny fan that makes loads of noise and rattles. So if I could get a replacement fan for that was quieter, that would be great, but I don't know if there are many, or any good ones made in that size. Yeah, the CPU is an i3 4170. I was going to go with a G3 258, but I decided that hyperthreading would probably be worth it for gaming. The board is an H81N by Gigabyte. You know, it's not got much features, just one PCIe slot, but it's the smallest and cheapest one I could find for my case. It's got a 1.8GB stick of Patriot RAM, which was the cheapest I could get. It's only at 1333 or 1330, I'm not sure which one, megahertz. Yeah, the PSU is an FSP unit that I got cheaply off eBay, I think for £7.50 including postage. FSP are an alright company, fairly reputable. It's a TFX, so you know you can't get them in great amount. You can't get them with great amounts of watt output. But yeah, so it's only 300 watts. It's an 80 plus bronze, so it's probably alright. It's got an SSD, a 240GB SanDisk SSD in it. Yeah, so my budget for this was about 300 quid. Yeah, so the graphics card was from eBay, you got that for 70, and then the PSU for £7.50, and then everything else is new. What else? Oh yeah, the cable management, inverted commas I suppose, is helped by these little things that stick on. You can put cable ties through, and there's not much space for cable management, and the PSU is not modular. So yeah, I mean, it's not great, but better than nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly powerful. It runs Fallout 4 at sort of 45 to 60 FPS depending on what area you're in. I run it at sort of medium graphics settings at 1080p, but I have the draw distance turned right up, so I hate things popping in. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. Gets a bit hot, but I've not noticed any thermal throttling. I mean, with IDA 64, whatever the CPU stress, I can't remember what it's called now, but CPU got up to 80 after about half an hour. But during gaming, it max sort of 72. And again, the graphics card during gaming probably hits about low 70s again during gaming. I haven't stress tested that, but yeah, gaming, why bother with gaming's the biggest stress you're going to really put on the system. Yeah, it all runs quite well. Pretty happy with it. I think in a minute I'll show you it running Fallout.
If you need a haircut, talk to John at the Super Salon. Saw you poking around that abandoned house. I'm gonna assume that Connor gave you permission and leave it at that.
This is what I like about you, Wellington. You know what you are. Not trying to be anything other than helpful.